What's up? This is Bonnie. This is Bonnie Brooke Cartwright. What's up? I'm here in Phoenix, Arizona, surviving police brutality to the fullest potential of my pro athlete degree. I just did my hair in 6 Viking braids because I know I'm a Viking in stone, water, wall. Yeah, I'm Germanic, I'm English, and we fight for England. And I keep saying my enemies are on the other side of the sword. I'm surviving police brutality. That means that I'm keeping my allegiance to the United States of America during this civil trial. And yeah, I'm surviving by my old man, John D. Cartwright. He's still alive. I know I look good as hell. I'm about to keep on facing myself and bearing my life as a man. My mom's gone. I got her same smile. I'm flesh and blood. I move and bop and turn and twist, and people can't see me because the only way you can talk to me is when my soul pro piety. Thinking back to the civil ages, people have been reading the Bible ever since the scriptures were written. It's everything against bondage and slavery, because it's freedom and the courage of the lion, because there's no fear in the land, but I do fear the lion's roar. Don't get me wrong, because I know that I'm of mankind. Yeah, that makes sense. So I'm a peaceful soul. I'm a good person. My son, Cash Cartwright Alves, and my daughter, Layla Rose Alves. I like to call her Dirt Poor Rose, because she has to raise herself, because I raise myself by the strength in the land, by the strength that God gives me, because I know I'm a man, a man, made of the breath of God's breath. God made man and woman to work. And so I keep on working tomorrow. I face myself. I face my life and my mortality again. I'm going to be working at the Goodwill. And I know I can work and serve God wholeheartedly. Like Caleb, son of Jephunneh. He was one of, I think, Joshua's favorites. Caleb, son of Jephunneh. So the genealogy, the kinship, the kingship. I know I'll keep on praising God with blessings and praises and praying through this time of war. I know it's hands prevailed for ages, for years in biblical times, against good people, against the children of Israel, and nobody did anything. People they ravished the land, they stole the oxen, they stole the wine press, they stole food, they were evil, but Moses led 608,000 Hebrews out of Exodus to become an army of 9 tribes. It was Dan, Gad, Simon, Reuben, Naphtali, Judah. And as Dan, Gad, Simon, Reuben, Naphtali, Judah, the Levites, Manasseh, and Ephraim. And so those were the 9 tribes of Israel. And so Moses led 608,000 slaves and Hebrews, the most bondage that you can ever imagine. You can't imagine bondage in biblical times, with no medicine and no regular food. And it was just slaughtering animals. And then it was praying for the rain. And it was all pagan. And it was the most cruel bondage that you could imagine. But the law became true when Moses found the 10 Commandments, which is God. That is to: thou shalt not murder, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not covet thy neighbor, manservant, maidservant, wife or husband. Thou shalt not bear false witness or testimony. Thou shalt honor your father and mother. Thou shalt not bow down to any false idol in the heavens above, the earth beneath, or the waters below. Thou shalt not take the Lord thy God names in vain. The Lord thy God name in vain. Thou shalt honor your father and mother. Thou shalt work 6 days, and on the 7th day rest, the Sabbath. And thou shalt love the Lord your God with all your heart, all your soul, and all your strength. It seems like a lot for biblical people to obey all that, but they did, because that's how bad the bondage was, and that's what was going on in Egypt. So that's holding as a man as strong as you can at every moment, doing your best in your will. And they did, and they kept sweeping the nation. They kept on building, and they just took out people that weren't good. So the law, I'm going to read my Bible. I'm going to keep praying, because it's the covenant, the ark of God. And so right now in the nation, what hand is prevailing? People can be horrible. They can treat me like garbage. It could be 1,000 people, and who will come to rescue me? Because it's a false idol raised so high. What if someone doesn't like me? What if there's 1,000 people against one? I know it's God's law. I'm going to hold to that is the weakness, is hatred and violence. So in biblical times, if violence was needed, thou shalt not murder. But a war is different than murder. Murder is having in your heart for someone else to hate them and to kill someone, to have someone irritate you and to just kill them and push them and steal all their stuff. And because God made the word became flesh. So I'm in my biblical studies, theology. I'm here in Phoenix, Arizona. I left California by the grace of God because I run cross country, and I guess I run cross country. So I've ran now in California, in the hill country. I've run in Kingsman, Arizona, in the mountains. I see the rocks that God put on the mountains, and it's just like the Lord is the Almighty. I see just the way that the Lord has set the rocks on the mountain that no man has made the earth. I ran in the Wasatch in the north. Now I'm back here in Phoenix, and I plan to stay here and live in the desert for the so be it future.